So hello tarot lovers and healing peeps of all shapes and sizes. So when I drew this lovers card the other day, I had an interesting interaction with a friend, and we were having a chat about stuff maybe that we haven't already talked about, but we were talking about multidimensional realities. We're talking about Lemuria. We're talking about different levels of consciousness, and really taking our heads outside the box and really going for a conversation that is deeply multidimensional in many ways. And after a while, I realized that we weren't really understanding each other, and it was basically because we had different definitions of certain basic words, like the word of being human and what is a human being. And so we started like sharing our own personal definitions and making these own questions to ourselves at the same time by saying, so what is a human being to me? What is a multi-dimensional reality? Who am I? On so many different levels. We were going into deeper and deeper, and so we were sharing our own definitions, and in this process it made us ask questions that we normally wouldn't ask. And this questioning, and the reason that I'm bringing this up is this questioning is in this card. So a lot of people think this volcano-like mountain in between the two lovers it represents like a passion and something, and the passion of love and blah blah blah, right? But this card isn't really, for me anyway, about passion. This is a major arcana card explaining and sharing something which is a key to finding deep love. And for me, this or what I was taught and what I related to, this mountain here was the mountain of abstract thought. So the consciousness, when it turns through into the subconscious, when we focus and ask ourselves questions inside, like, for example, what is a human being to me, right? What does that mean, right? Normally we don't think about this. Normally it doesn't seem to be that abstract, but when we're actually questioning our definitions and questioning what we might think in our lives, we're pulling our minds outside of the box that we think we know reality is in. We're taking our minds out of a fixed form and actually questioning what our vocabulary is, or what our ideas are, what our beliefs are. And this questioning is what makes that box expand, what makes our mind expand, what makes us come to these aha moments. And so we were having this is when I was having this conversation with a friend. We were having this beautiful conversation that was extremely abstract, but we were trying to define it. We were trying to bring in to the conscious mind some ideas that were very abstract in many levels. Now the human being definition might not be that, but our multi-dimensional self, it had abstract tones to it on many levels. And this was an amazingly beautiful conversation. And these type of abstract questions that we can ask ourselves is also what redefines our beliefs and what makes certain connections inside of our brain that can be reinforced and change the way we think about ourselves. And also, I learned that somebody else's definition of very simple ideas and very simple words can be completely different than mine, and it really helped me understand broader ways to communicate to myself. And the whole process was the process of diving inwards and focusing on abstract thoughts, focusing on thoughts that would just pull us out of our normal way of thinking. And in that pulling out of the normal way of thinking, we're much more likely to tap into that angelic guidance. And we definitely tapped into that angelic guidance, and we were maybe channeling ideas, tapping into and receiving guidance in ways that was beautiful and wonderful. And sometimes when we have simple questions in our lives, we can do the same thing. Instead of going into the detail of the mundane, take a step back, make it abstract, and you're much more likely looking at the bigger picture, looking at the broader perspective, to be able to pull in some higher guidance from that angelic sun. Have a fantastic day. All the best.